Hello Bookish friends, welcome to another Top 5 video in which I am celebrating my 5th year in BookTube. In today's video I'm going to talk about my favorite books that I've read since I joined BookTube. I joined BookTube in the August of 2019. So I chose my favorite books that I've read since August 19 until the end of last month, July 2024. Choosing those 5 books was not easy for me. I had to eliminate quite spectacular books, but since the theme of this series is talking about the top 5, I had to make a decision. Let's see which 5 that I have chosen. Series about series challenge, a trilogy that I would start and finish in 2023. The book is Scythe by Neal Shusterman, and this young adult novel taking place in the future. Age of immortality has happened and all of the diseases are cured, and also a way to revive a dead person or to regenerate a person to their younger years has been accomplished. However, this immortality brings the problem of overpopulation, and a new kind of institution called Scythe is founded so that the Scythes would choose random people to kill, which is called gleaning in this world, so that the overpopulation problem is solved. In this very interesting world, we follow the two apprentices of a Scythe, Citra and Rowan, who goes through very different journeys during their apprenticeship. And twists and turns do follow them in their journey. Prior to finishing this book, I had not given any book 10 out of 10 this year. And up until 2 days ago, I was thinking that I would also give this book a 9 out of 10. However, the ending was spectacular in my opinion. And also many new clever threads did happen in the book. So I think it deserved my first 10 out of 10 rating. But it was not just the ending that made this book extraordinarily good. The details in the world building, complex plot structure, very three-dimensional characters, and also a plot with twists and turns made this book an excellent read for me. I was really impressed by how such complex themes could be given in such a clear writing style. I really did love the character of Citra. I also really liked Rowan. I was also really impressed by many of the side characters and how different they were, although they were all some sort of Scythe. Other than this being an excellent book for me, it was an excellent buddy reading experience with Gaia. We have done some other buddy reads in the past. They have all been wonderful buddy reading experiences, and this was no exception. So I want to thank Gaia for being with me in this really enjoyable reading experience. University, and he has a wife, Daniela, and a son, Charlie. One day, a man in a mask kidnaps him and then injects him with a serum. And Jason wakes up in a new reality. He did not marry Daniela, and his son is never born. First of all, I want to say that it will be really hard for me to express how much I love this book, but I will try my best. I read the synopsis before, so I knew it would involve an alternate reality. And as a fan of alternate realities, I knew that I would enjoy the general concept of it, but I never thought that I would like the writing style and the characters, and also I never expected how clever the plot devices would be used in this book. It's also a very thrilling book. It's actually a mixture of science fiction and thriller. I read the pages that we were going to read for our buddy read in a very short time, and loved every word of it. I also want to point out, I love the buddy reading experience with Naomi. We both loved the book, and I can say for myself, I really enjoyed our Voxer talks with her. I rambled a bit, but I really wanted to shout out how much I loved this book, and she suffered my ramblings, I have to admit. So Dark Matter is one of the 2 books that I've given 10 out of 10 so far in 2020. And it is very likely it will be among my favorites as well. Kindred by Octavia E. Butler. This book tells the story of a black woman who's living in 1976, time traveling back to in times of slavery in 1810s. In there, she meets her ancestors, and many things happen as she travels back and forth between 1976 and the past. I read this book with Veronica from We Reads and Rambles. First of all, I would like to say how much I enjoyed this buddy reading experience. The book also had a possibility of having many discussions about very different subjects. But reading it, Veronica made these discussions much more fulfilling and also very thought-provoking, I have to admit. We talked about many things. Maybe that could be the reason that I liked this book so much. But besides buddy reading experience and the discussions we had, I think this book was one of the best written books that I've read so far. The plot was exciting and very engaging. The characters were fully developed. And the story touched upon many social things, not just slavery, but domestic abuse, destructive relationships, contrast, as well as the similarities between the societal norms in the past and in the present time, 1976, of course. As I've said before, the most impressive thing about this book was the writing style. I just loved the writing style so much. It was raw, sometimes very hard to read, but I liked the fact that nothing was romanticized in this book. Not the descriptions, not the characters, not the subject of heroism, not anything. I mean, I just loved the book so much. I really want to talk about it, but I'm afraid of giving spoilers for those who did not read. So I would really like to have more discussions about Kindred in the comments down below. In summary, I gave this book 10 out of 10, which is the definition of a perfect book for me. I finished my buddy read of Mehmet My Hawk by Yaşar Kemal, one of the most prolific authors of Turkish literature, with Rose at Skelly dangling about the books. Although I will record a very detailed Turkish shelf video about this classic, of course I will talk briefly about this book in my wrap-up as well. In this book, we are following the life of İnce Mehmet, who rebels in his village, who is like the feudal lords of medieval Europe. The story takes place in 1940s, and we follow İnce Mehmet from his childhood till the time when he becomes a sort of like an outlaw folk hero who gives hope to the people who are oppressed by this feudal regime. This book was actually recommended by my father And he said to me one day, if you have not read a Yaşar Kemal book, you cannot say anything about Turkish literature. And when I was reading the book, I thought my father was so right. Although I really did like the plot and supported Mehmet with all my heart, the shining star of the book was the writing style of Yaşar Kemal. I had doubts that maybe it would not be translated so well into English because it really plays with the rhythm of the writing, but of course it is in Turkish. But when I talked to Rose about the translation, she said very similar things to me, how beautiful the writing style of Kemal was. Aside from the writing style, this epic and heroic plot was told so realistically in details. I think it made Mehmet much more relatable character than a perfect hero with no faults. This book has a very strong message against feudalism, inequality in wages, and also in land distribution. And a very subtle criticism of the society in Turkey is also present in this book. I did not feel like I was tutored about all of these evil things. Instead, I read a very engaging story with a very relatable character, as well as understanding the message perfectly clearly. The word reading experience was incredibly good, and Rose also liked the book very, very much. And with our discussion, we noticed some details that the other one maybe didn't think of. It was also great to talk about Turkish people with a reader who has a very different point of view than mine. So I gave Mehmet my hug 10 out of 10. And the bud reading experience, another 10 out of 10. I'm really glad that I read my first perfect book in 2022, and it was written by a Turkish author. I started the second half of year with a very, very good book. This book talks about a butler called Stevens, who goes to a tour of English countryside, convinces his previous housemate to come back to work in the grand house that he works in, which is Darlington Hall. Up until reading this book, I never thought that I would have given a book that has almost no action and a very little plot development a rating of 10 out of 10. But I loved this book writing style so much. It was written so beautifully, and for the first time in many years I really forced myself to read a book much more slower than my usual pace to enjoy this beautiful writing style in small doses, and I wanted to extend this wonderful reading experience as much as I can. I think the character of Stevens was both very clueless about life itself. Also, one of the most tragic characters that I have read in a book. One of the reviews that I read in Goodreads said that this book is about what did that happen. That was a wonderful description of this book. Additionally, the descriptions of nature, which I am not very fond of reading in books actually, was very beautiful, and I immensely enjoyed the descriptions of the English countryside, and I felt like I was there while I was reading that scenes. And the character of Stevens actually reminded me so much of the butler in Downton Abbey, Mr. Carlson. When I was reading this book, I kept hearing the actor's voice in my ears. Being a fan of that TV show, it was an additional joy to read this book. So everything just fitted perfectly for me, and that's why I gave this book a 10 out of 10. Those were my top 5 favorite books that I've read since I joined BookTube. Please comment down below. Have you read any of the books that I mentioned in this video, and what did you think of them? If you're a new viewer, first of all, welcome. Please like and subscribe. Hope to see you very soon. Bye. For Turkish word of the day, I'm going to choose a theme from İnce Mehmet My Hawk. Bandit means eşkıya in Turkish, and eşkıya is our Turkish word of the day. Have a good day.